This is Into the Fire. I'd like to welcome to Into the Fire the super athletic, the super runner, the lightning quick, Lachlan Grubb.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you, Lachlan.
Give one of these.
You're a fellow T3 gully player just like me. What were you like as a young fella at the Wolves?
Grew up playing footy as a 6-year-old. Dad played footy out there as an A grader. I've got my 2 younger brothers that play out there, Jake and Liam, so it's all pretty family orientated club at the gullies. But yeah, as a young footballer, I've just always enjoyed it. Just love being out there with mates, so yeah.
Yeah, football's really good. How are you going, Lachlan, with all the uncertainty around this year?
Obviously with the coronavirus it's a bit hard, but it's sort of out of our control and we can't really do much about it. So I just got to do what I can do to control myself and see what we can do moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Now, you are not talked about being in the top 30 at the moment, which doesn't matter because I see you as a player like Harry Schoenberg, who could just burst onto the scene in the draft here. Does it worry you at all that you're going to have limited time to shine?
It does sort of worry me a bit with what's going on, but hopefully we can just get back to playing footy, just a sport we all love. Obviously like Harry, he's done really well, wasn't in the hub at the start of the year and sort of just bursted his way into the state stuff, which is pretty good by him. We'll just see what happens, and I don't really handle the pressure pretty well, so yeah.
Yeah, you'll be okay. You're blistering fast, so quick you won the grand final sprint. That must have been amazing. Did you feel like Usain Bolt?
Actually, the Usain Bolt's been one of my idols actually since I've been growing up. So I grew up as a sprinter for about 13-year-old. That grand final sprint was obviously a highlight of mine, pretty awesome. I was actually more nervous than that was in the game in the morning because we played a futures game in the morning, so I was pretty nervous for that sprint.
Yeah, running always makes me nervous too. So you won $4,000. What did you spend it on?
It was $4,000. A grand went to myself and then $3,000 to the charity at Central's, Novita.
Oh, yeah.
Spent that on myself, just shoes, going out for food. So yeah, don't have much of that left anymore. But yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
You've been part of the SA Hub. How has that been?
Obviously with my football, I've never really started playing good football until I was about probably 14, 15 years old. Was never really good enough to make any of the state stuff, got knocked back a fair bit. So I got dropped from the under-16s, and then just through sheer hard work, I guess I used that as something to rebound off of. So to make the AFL Hub was just a pretty good accomplishment of mine. I'm just really proud of myself where I've come, but the work's not done yet, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing. Has it driven you harder to get to the next level?
Definitely driven me a lot harder to get to the next level.
Yeah. So what team do you follow, Zach?
I don't actually follow any team, to be honest. Grew up, I actually don't follow any team. It's a bit of a weird one. Dad
follow any team growing up?
Sort of the Crows, because that's what everyone does in SA, but Dad goes for the Pies, so it's sort of a bit of a soft spot in my heart for the Pies, but yeah, no one at the moment.
If there was a player in the AFL you could have round for tea tomorrow night, who would you choose?
Probably Dusty Martin, Geordie DeGoey. I reckon they'd have a fair few good stories to tell. So.
Yeah, they definitely would. If you had to pick a player in the AFL you play most like, who would it be?
Probably Shy Bolton, small forward from Richmond. Just the way he goes about it, his speed, pressure, and then his goal sense as well. So.
Yeah, it'd be cool to play like him. Let's talk about your footy. You're a speedy player. Do you see yourself as a midfielder or a forward?
So at the moment in the hub, seen as a small forward role. Definitely like, when I was younger I played in the guts as well, through the midfield and a wing as well. Like to use my speed and get on the outside. So at the moment I'm just small forward in the hub. So.
Small forward's a good position.
Yeah, it is.
What do you see as your best attributes? Let's make out on a scout.
My best attribute definitely my speed. Athleticism, and just my goal sense around goals, and then pressure is something to work on as well.
Yeah, you're definitely good at all that stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, so any areas of improvement that you're looking to getting better at before entering the AFL?
Definitely. So at the moment, just through conversation with coaches, staff, everyone. At the moment, my offensive ability in football is better than my defence, so just got to get those two to balance up. Get my pressure up to standard, which has just been the main feedback, and then just getting a bit cleaner as well, and then putting on some size with age that comes as well. So.
Do you like defence or not?
I actually don't mind defending. Played a bit down back in the juniors, yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let me know what you think with some of these questions about other players who might be in the draft. Which player would make you panic when they run at you to tackle you?
Probably Kane Baldwin. He's a big boy,
Yeah.
so it's pretty scary.
Someone is always first to training and last to leave the track. Who is it?
Probably Riley Thilthorpe. He's pretty professional about the way he goes about it. Always has been. Get training first, get out there last. So yeah, probably him.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular answer.
Yeah.
You walk out onto the ground for South Australia and an opposition player walks to you. You say, oh great, it's going to be a hard day. Who's the player?
Probably Will Phillips from Vic. He's pretty solid boy. So yeah, probably him.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. You get $1,000 if you predict the #1 draft pick this year. Who are you choosing? Hypothetical question.
So obviously you had Elijah Hollins, who's just done his knee. He was pretty up high in the draft order. Then you got players like Jamara, Hugo Hagan, obviously those boys, Riley Thilthorpe. So I'd probably bet one of those three to go #1.
Yeah, that sucks when you do your knee.
Yeah, that's bad.
Which South Aussie do you think checks his Instagram the most?
Probably Corey Durden. Loves his Insta feed, so yeah.
Yeah, he does. Which SA boy is most likely to train with his shirt off?
Probably Taj Schofield.
Oh yeah. Well, Lachlan, I'm sure you'll get your chance this year to show that exciting pace you have and make those AFL scouts sit up and notice. Well, when you are on the big stage, everyone loves pace, but they love one thing even more. They love a goal created by pace. And then it's the most important time to give the celebration. Give them the into the fire. Have you been practicing?
Yeah, I've seen it on your online stuff, so go to a bit of
Want to
practice.
do it together?
Right, ready?
Good job. Well, Lachlan, my fellow teachery gully boy, once this virus is over, reset and go hard at your dream. You're a legend of a guy, and I can't wait to see your progress. Thanks heaps.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks.